Hey, I'm Sam and I Do Design, and in the video today, I'm reviewing your portfolios. Before we get into reviewing portfolios, I just want to take a small moment to thank today's sponsor, Nordgreen watches. I'll leave all the links down in the description below, but it's the watch that I'm going to be using in this video to keep track of time of the video as I go along. And they're an amazing company to work for, so thanks Nordgreen. Okay, jumping in, I've got a slightly different setup today. I've got my iPad with me. What I wanted to do compared to last time's review was change the device that I'm using it on, because it's going to throw up some different aspects that you guys need to consider when submitting a portfolio. So I'm going to open this one here by Scotty, and we're going to just do the normal thing that I flick through. And the other reason why I wanted to do the iPad was because flicking through on the MacBook, there's no animation, so you guys didn't know where I was in the document. So I've just had a quick flick through now, bearing in mind that is as fast as anyone will look through a portfolio. No one is going to read anything else into more detail, so we can start to see and go through. So we can see here, that we've got a cover letter that's kind of like this CV thing on the front. So they've added their CV included, so that's cool. And we're going to jump straight into the project. If I don't swipe across all the time. Let's see, so we've got WASP Conservation Design. Cool, some background. Okay, so this is product design for, okay, so this is the end product. Cool, so I like this. So this opening hero shot is good so that I can get a sense of the project. Then I sort of get lost a little bit in here because I don't know, so you're helping people to dart, or you're, okay, so you're saving biologists' lives by, I hope these are tranquilizers and not, I'm sure they are. Okay, cool, so we've got some ideation here. This is a really strong page. I would say photo editing wise, you want to show your best self. This could be edited, you know, it's a raw image, which is cool, but this white balance is quite dark. I like the shutter blur that you've got going on, that's cool. It's got a lot of motion going on. But I just think that if you tweak this a little bit, it could be a real nice studio shot. So yeah, cool. It's a good start. This next page, let's see. Yeah, I like it. The rendering's good. I like the person in use. Wide angle view. Okay, so it's a VR as well. This VR headset thing I think could do with some more development. I didn't know that it was anything to do with VR up until now. So yeah. It's a cool project that shows, you know, ideation skills, and it shows insight into research. It's just the end story at the end where I'm meant to see where all this goes, and then it's a nice page, but it doesn't tell the story. It doesn't flesh it out as much as it should. Green boards, material research. Okay, so materials project. Nice. I like the workshop. I like these shots, but I don't get, I like the workshop shots, but because I haven't seen the end, I mean, this is the end process, I know, but I don't get what the problem is you're trying to solve yet. You haven't established what you're trying to solve, and I don't understand. Okay, so this is the first page where I understand that, but up until this point, I don't know what I've been looking at, right? It's a first composite surfboard made from 100% nature. Cool. But that heading would have been really good on this page. So I know exactly what I'm looking at. I know exactly what the project is about before sort of going through and then having to dig deeper later. Oh, and actually that was the last page. I mean, it's really good to see that you managed to achieve it. So you are so close to the storytelling, but it's just not quite there. I don't know what the issue was with why you wanted to focus on this yourself. It would have been really nice to see some more reasoning behind the idea. Cape bar stool furniture design. I like this. This is cool. Furniture design is cool. And you've got a real stool, which is always nice to see instead of just a render. I like this, that you've done some concepts and ideation, images of the stool being made. I like it. And then images of the stool in use. I like that too. What I would like to see is who this is for, what target demographic, how much will it cost? Is it a one-off? Is it a bespoke product? Is it a model for something that you're going to take and do 1,000 units of, 100,000 units of? I would like to know a little bit more about the project so I know exactly what type of thing you're doing. I mean, it's a nice stool, I like it, but in terms of the overall project scope, I'd like to know just a little bit more detail. Snail branding. So we've got a website and slow fashion is a revolution. I agree. Yes. Cool. I like this. So this shows that you've been checking out all the news outlets and all the media about fast fashion, and this is your go at sort of revolutionizing that and bringing in some slow fashion. And I like this project. I like the outcome. I like the logo. The mock-ups are really nice. What I don't get is how it helps. So I guess the project isn't service design. The project is branding design, right? Is that what you said? Branding. Okay. So maybe the service isn't quite as thought through, because in my mind, slow fashion would be not Adidas trainers, sneakers, because Adidas, these big sports brands are part of the whole fast fashion problem, right? So you've done some really nice artisan, you've got the wool here, you've got someone sat down with an interview, you've got all these things, but then you've got the Adidas shoes in there. It's not the same meaning across all those brands, right? So you could have used a different brand, for example, in that. I like this too, so yeah, you've done the packaging as well. I like it, that's a good project. I just think it's missing on some points. Cool, and then we get to the end. Great, I think the one thing to improve on, because I think the skills are here, it's just the storytelling at the very end, the very last step, right? I like all the projects, so well done, nice one. Let's move on. This is when we can move on and go across. Cool, okay, so we've got Samson here, we've got this, no we haven't, here we go. So we've got Samson here, and we've got a CV, and actually looking at it, can I change the position? No, for some reason I can't change the position. So we've got a CV and we've got a portfolio separately. That's cool. So we'll go through the CV first. First off, you will see that because I'm viewing it on a landscape screen and you've done a portrait CV, I'm having to scroll. That is fine. I would recommend doing that anyway, because I believe that a CV should be A4 portrait so that companies can print them out and pass them around the studio for more people to look at. If you've got a weird size portfolio, if you've got a weird size CV and it's like A5 might be fine, but like A3, it's not going to go well. So I like the fact that you've got it in this portrait orientation like this. Cool, I like the fact that you haven't put stars or a bar or anything to say how skilled you are at these apps. I do like that you've included the logos. Cool, yeah, I think this is well laid out. It's concise, one page. Cool, I would definitely, yeah, it's a good CV. Cool, let's move on to your portfolio. Okay, so we've got landscape portfolio, cool. Hello. Let's have a look here. So we'll do the normal scrolling, how fast? Yeah, okay, so there we go. So I've seen it there. This project, final major project, F11 roll top backpack. So I will note that I think I saw in the email from Samson that this is a mini portfolio. So I guess the idea is you show 3 or 4 projects on 3 or 4 pages, and then the person says, oh, that's great, I'd love to see more, and then you can show more. That's difficult when other people might send full projects and I would see the full process within their portfolio. Because if I can employ them without having to chase someone up for their extra work, then I'm going to do that because it's going to be easier for me. What I would say is I like these projects. I think the fact that you've got real working projects and these are tangible things, I know deep down that the process you must have gone through to do it is interesting, but I can't see any of it, right? So I think even in a mini portfolio like you've called this, I would still like to see some process, which you show later on in like these renders. They're really nice. These sketches are really nice. It would have been really nice to have those integrated into a project throughout the portfolio. But I like it. I like the clean layout. I would say the hierarchy is a little bit, it's so close to being there. I would like the title to be bolder, and apart from that, I like the layout. It's clean. You need to find a fine balance between being clean and being empty, because looking at this page, it's really nice to look at, but you could have fit nicer, you could have fit more backstory into this page, right? You could have fit some sketches or some other stuff in it. So that's the only thing, you know. And now that I've spent some time looking at it, I can see that the zip in the middle allows you to open up the left side or the right side, so you can get into the different sections. That wasn't apparent to me just looking at it, but if you had a quick sketch to show that, or you had some sort of extra details in there, then that would have made it really apparent before I need to even look at it for a longer amount of time. Yeah, I like these sketches. They're really nice. The renders are really nice. Yeah, so I think the moral of the story is try and incorporate all of your skills naturally throughout the products or the projects that you have, instead of saying, this is my sketching page, this is my rendering page. Show it throughout naturally within the project so I can see the story as it progresses through as well. Cool, but yeah, I like the layout, I like the cleanliness of it. The skills are obviously there. Again, it's just the storytelling that's so close, but just it doesn't quite tell the story it needs to tell. Cool, but yeah, well done. Nice portfolio. Cool. So now we have Emily's portfolio, and we can scroll through just the same as before, going super quick. So I can get through all the portfolios I need to see in this day. And cool, thank you. Okay. So we'll go back to the top. So, looking at the layout, I think the layout on this one isn't quite as strong as the other ones that we've seen. You know, I can see what you were going for, right? It's kind of like this magazine, like Wired magazine, where you've got the big image, you've got the bold type, and then that's going to go through. It starts, I don't know where I'm looking on this page for hierarchy, right? So your design for manufacture is in black when the text that maybe isn't quite as important as that is in red, and I'm drawn to the red text instead of the black text. And I almost missed that design for manufacture at the top there. What I do like is you've got the same layout on each page for the heading, so I know exactly where I'm looking. Yeah, so I see, again, you've got the sort of editorial Wired magazine. It's almost there, it really is. But the hierarchy just needs a little bit of improvement. That's all, just a little bit of improvement. Some things could align nicer. But that's going to come with time. I get that. I understand. So, moving on now, we've got some, okay, so I'm confused a little bit now because before we had a design for manufacturer project, and now I can see this is the actual manufacturing of the product. So I don't get how it was separated out. I don't quite get what a widget is, what it's used for. A widget of what? What does it do? Oh, okay, so you slide it over. Right, so that's really, now that I've seen the project, it's kind of fun and novel. What I would have liked to have seen is it on a laptop. I think that's what it's for, right? Yeah, laptop. So I would have liked to seen it on a laptop in use, someone sat in front of it, maybe eating a bowl of cereal, something, something sloppy, like soup or something, that they don't want people watching maybe. That'd be funny. Anyway, to see it on a laptop in context instead of the whole, because this manufacturing after the fact can come into it later, right? But I didn't get what it was to begin with. So yeah, I like the project, it's fun. It just needs the extra little bit of storytelling, like I keep mentioning. Cool, the future milk bottle, dispensable, reusable bottle. Okay, I wish the iPad wouldn't keep scrolling left and right. So, what's the issue? So we've got some logo work at the top, biomimicry. So we're going straight into the solution already for this project, because it's such a, I want to use the word ubiquitous, but that's a big word, ubiquitous, I don't know. That's such a big word for me, I don't know how to say it. But the milk bottle is so widely used. Why does it need updating? I would have just liked a page to say that. The fact that it's reusable, great, that sort of takes me there, but it doesn't bring up the full issues. It just says that wouldn't it be nice to have a reusable milk bottle? In that case, I would argue, why don't you just use a milk jug, which you've shown here? Anyway, I like this project. By the look of it, I just think it needs a little bit more backstory to really solidify it in terms of why it's needed, right? I like this model making stuff. Yeah, it looks cool. I like the hands-on tactility of it. These renders are really nice. So these are like hero renders, but they're in amongst some not so hero-y pages, right? So we've got this infographic here, and then these nice renders. I would argue that what would I argue? I'd like to see it in a kitchen. I really wish the iPad would stop doing that. I'd like to see it in a kitchen being used. I'd like to see it, in its natural environment. That'd be really nice. So yeah, but nice project anyway. The hygienic home, easy clean stair attachment, okay. Academic research. Okay, so this is, yeah, great. This is textbook, empathy tools. We've got, yeah, cool. I get the project. We've got some sketches going on. Yeah, I know, you know what? I think this is your strongest project. I think that's your strongest project, but again, just on the final hurdle, it would have been really nice to see a really sweet, see these stairs here? I think if you rendered the product really nicely in a really, really nice environment, then I think you'd be onto a winner. It just falls short for me. But really nice project. I like the theory behind it. I like the empathy tools. This ticks all the boxes for the journey of the project. Cool, yeah. One thing is for sure, I'm not going to use my iPad for this anymore. User-centered design, the guiding rule. Okay, what is the guiding rule? It's a ruler. I don't know what it is. It's a ruler that sits on the desk. It's a rule that sits on the day. I mean, I like it. It's a nice product. And it's got these movable parts so you can measure things accurately. Ah, it's dyspraxia. Okay. Right. Okay, I mean, I get it. You make me read. I don't want to read anything, guys. You make me read these things. So the reason everyone said on the last video, Sam, why don't you read these things? They deserve being read because people have put effort into them, and I get that. I really do get that, and I wish I could read all these from start to finish. But in my day-to-day, when I have to check through so many of these in a day or so many of these in an hour, I just don't have time. And the projects that explain themselves the best without reading, that tells me that they can do the project, they can do the work and the process, but they can also tell a story, which is the extra step. And what I mean by telling a story is not writing a story, it's showing the story. Which I don't know how you would show that for dyspraxia and a rule. I don't know how you would show that. I mean, your guess is a lot better than mine because it's not my project, right? So I can't give advice on how to show that. This is the strongest page where you show it in context, but you filled it again with the less refined stuff as well. So it's sort of this mix. This would have been really sweet with just one image that I just look at it and I just get it, which is so close to its being. It doesn't need the rest. The research stuff could have been all at the start, and then you progress through, so the final image is, boom, this is what I did, isn't it nice? So yeah, I would say you are so close to showing that story. It's just like all of these portfolios today have just been the little details that tell the story or not. If you want to go through and see the mid-weight designer who submitted their portfolio last time, go and check out the last video because you can see the difference between a mid-weight designer and an undergrad or a lightweight designer. It's just the natural storytelling that comes along with it. So these are amazing portfolios that you should be proud of, but if you take this advice on board, then you're going to be well ahead of the game. So thank you to everyone who submitted a portfolio. Thank you to Nordgreen for giving me this watch so I know exactly how long I've been recording for. If you learned anything in this video, don't forget to comment down below. If you want to have any type of video in the future, comment down below as well, and I'll try and get that out to you. Like and subscribe and hit the bell button and everything else that YouTube asks you to do. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.